It is November 6, 2024, the first official day after the United States election. Donald J. Trump has been appointed president, and I have lost close to 1,000 followers on my Instagram. Now, the past version of me would have projected into the future to see this day and would have thought to myself, that sounds terrifying. Not only are you going to lose all these followers, but you're going to get hate comments. You're going to have people who purported to be supportive of you, purported to be people who are behind you, who truly had love for you. You're going to have these people coming out of the woodworks, attacking you, ridiculing you, cussing you out, simply because you posted a video of a television set reporting the news that Donald Trump was now president. If I had seen that from some sort of what's that? What are those? The Miss Cleo? What's that ball called? The fortune telling ball. If I was able to project into the future and see this moment, I would have felt as if it was too much of a weight, too much of a burden, that it's not even worth it. Let me just keep my opinion to myself. And yet now I'm on the other side of it, and now I'm actually in the midst of it. I feel empowered. I feel liberated. I'm more encouraged to speak the truth out, because I realize that what I'm actually dealing with here it's a battle between light and dark. The illusion and perception versus the truth. And I've known this for a while, but I never got to see it in full 4K. I never got to experience the hatred behind some of these people, the vile nature in which they truly live. It was all love and light. You know, a lot of my content was centered around spirituality, etc. So there was a lot of love and light messages. All of a sudden, at a flip of a hat, because of a perception and a perspective and a political choice, which all of us have the freedom to do, I have never in my life cared to even switch somebody's position politically. I've never cared to do so. When I was on the left, when I was, more of a wokey per se, I was obsessed with having people believe what I believed, right? But I was never in this position where I genuinely cared so much to where I'll go on people's posts and just, slander them and break them down and cuss them out because they disagreed with me. And now that I'm finally a free thinker, now that I started leaning to the right, seeing things for what they truly are, I definitely don't care what you think. I definitely don't care, who you voted for, because I stand for your right to do so. I will fight for your right to say what you want to say, even if it disagrees with everything that I believe in. I will fight for your right to disagree in your political stance and your religious stand and every other stance that you have in your life. I will fight for that freedom. So it was a shell shock at first, for sure, but also in the same moment, in the same breath, it has been liberating in a way that I never could have imagined. I never could have imagined that having people coming at you, coming for your head, coming for your neck, no diddy, that it would feel this liberating. And I know we're just on day one, right? The liberal tears have already started to overflow. Our oceans are being replenished at this very moment. We don't have to worry about climate change anymore, drying up our oceans, because, those tears are definitely creating a surplus within the ecosystem. But I am in a place where I'm more inspired. I'm more emboldened than I've ever been. And that's a scary thing for those who live in a lie, those who choose to live in a deception. Those who want to silence you, they want to shut you up. They don't want to hear it. Not because they have a formidable argument, not because they have a true stance, but because they hate the truth. They hate confronting any aspect of themselves. They hate taking personal responsibility for their lives. They know that now they have no more excuses to hide behind. I mean, they still will. They will use as many as they can, and they'll play the victim and, all the rest and all the sort. But what I've come to realize is that this has shown us that there is a silent majority that have been seeing the madness that's been going on in our culture. Our children being mutilated and, quite literally deleted. And that's been prioritized over the safety of the children that are here. Like, really make that make sense for me, really make that one make sense for me. But nevertheless, this ain't even a political message. Somebody said in my comment, they said, this is about to become a political channel. And it was the first time I ever put anything out political was yesterday. And it wasn't even genuinely just politics. It was just me in a celebration moment, right? I wasn't even going on one of these rants or nothing. But they put, this is about to become a political channel. And I said, you know what? It doesn't have to be, because politics is a reflection of the culture. We're just seeing what the people have been feeling and experiencing, and again has gone unheard. The silent majority. A majority, because in the same breath where I had, 50, 60 negative comments or whatever it was, there was still 300 people who liked it and people flooding my DMs saying thank you, etc. So we also have to remember that aspect. And I'm speaking more specifically to those who, you may be afraid to take your stance because there is a very real prospect that these lunatics are going to look to attack you in some way. Verbally, they want to physically, but they ain't going to do a damn thing. Know you're guarded, know you're guided, and you do not have to fear them. And you do not have to stoop to their level of hatred. You don't have to stoop that low. If it was the other way around, they would have been singing about this woman's victory. But because they're on the other side, they only know one thing, because they don't know how to take an L. They take them their entire lives because they can't take responsibility for their own lives. So therefore, they're never in control of their own life. But they don't know how to take a true L. They don't know how to be confronted with truth. They don't know how to be confronted with the fact when their emotions are so deeply invested in the narrative. And so, my message is very, very clear for you guys. In this one, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. These folks right here, many of them are going to wake up one day, just like a lot of us did, right? And realize that the ruse, the game that's been played on them. Once they overcome their hatred, once they overcome, a lot of their traumas that they're projecting to the rest of the world and they, they're moving off of. Once they get to that place, they'll realize. But the ones who cannot be saved, the ones who are so far gone, they are irrelevant. They do not matter. Let them cry. Let their tears fill up the night skies and go about your way. Live your life. Build your empire. Build your home. Build your family. Contribute to creating a prosperous nation, a prosperous world. Love. Protect. Period.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a hardening heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising. They see your light shine.